Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
Yes, and I want to start today with a question that came in the last 48 hours on our live feature, and it's a heartbreaker. So everybody needs to take a deep breath. We're going to wade in here because it starts with, please, God, help me. I'm not a parent, but I'm the youngest child in the family. This individual identifies themselves as being 20 years old. My mom, 59, has scoliosis, has extreme back pain, arthritis, one working eye, upon other issues, including depression. My sister, 25, has autism. She talks and makes noises, constantly repeating things she's heard over and over and over again. I'm not sure if echolalia is the right term for that, but it's close enough. This happens every day, all day, even when she's eating or trying to fall asleep. I put up with it for my 20 years of living with her. I'm more or less numb to it now, but sometimes one of her noises or sayings really gets to me. I used to be the one most upset by her, but now it seems that my mom can't take it anymore. The past few months, she has been increasingly more and more stressed, at her wit's end, and trying to ease my sister's constant rattling. She keeps saying that she can't take it anymore, and at one point gestured a motion of strangulation towards her while her back was turned. We've tried everything, but it seems we're too far gone to control her. Ignoring her does nothing. She will keep doing whatever she's doing. Yelling at her does nothing either. She will think it's funny and laugh at you. Taking her belongings away from her makes it worse. My mom tried to take her iPad, the only thing she plays on all day, away, and she grabbed hold of my mom's arm very tightly. She hurt her. There's a huge bruise near her elbow now. I just don't know what to do anymore. Mom being stressed directly affects me, as she usually will be unable to control her anger and take it out on me by yelling. Mom says she can't help it. Sister can't help being autistic, and I can't help being so effing done with the situation. I'm so tired. I just want peace. We don't have a car. We live in an apartment. There's no other options. We can't do anything. Every solution that we've come up with ends with us being too poor to go through with it. I feel like someone is going to snap one of these days. It could be any of us. Please, God, help me. So, deep breath on behalf of this young person who is so intelligent and such a caring person to be, I think, to be looking at, the needs of their sister and the needs of their mom in addition to their own needs. But we need a lot of help here, Dr. Granpeesheh. Where do you want to wade in?
Oh, this is so heartbreaking. I guess I want to start by, I hope that this person is listening and will send you, Shannon, their direct information so that I can be in contact directly. I would like to see what we can do for you through my nonprofit act, Autism Care Today. I don't know where you live. I'd like to know that, because if you live in certain states, there is help. If you are in California, for instance, we could help you get respite care from the regional center system. A lot of other states also provide that under the title of developmental disabilities funding. So I would love to be able to help you get some respite, which is essentially a person comes and stays with your sister and takes care of your sister so that you and your mom can get out and can do something just outside of the apartment, even if it's a matter of just going for a walk or something like that. I also want to offer to buy through ACT, the nonprofit that I founded, a set of noise canceling headphones for your sister. Because I think a lot of times when our kids make these repetitive sounds, it's because of the sound they hear. So they produce a sound that they hear and they continue to do that repeatedly. And yes, it can become very, very difficult for others. But I think if we are able to give your sister a couple of things, like one of those giant bean bags in the corner of the room and a set of noise canceling headphones, she might, and her iPad, she might be able to go to that area and stay calm. And usually the noise canceling headphones will start reducing the repetitive sounds because the individual is now listening to music or something else and they're not hearing themselves make those sounds. So you kind of break the circuit that way and then they stop. So I'd like to get all those things for you just as an immediate source of help. But more importantly, it would be good to know where you are because there are some resources that might be helpful, and we'd love to be able to connect you with those. I think that's the most urgent thing. Once things are a little bit more settled, if you stay in touch with us, we might be able to guide you to do other things that can get you out of the apartment and can get you and your mom to start feeling a little bit better this coming year. It's very, very difficult, Shannon. My heart goes out to this family.
Absolutely. I know that it's really hard for all of us when we're in it, and somebody says respite, and it feels like that's just another mountain to climb.
Yeah.
And what I hear a lot of caregivers say is, "Oh, we tried that once and it didn't work out," which is all too common. But you can't give up on that. Respite. I could put parents in a room and say, everybody that is feeling so completely overwhelmed that you can't stand it anymore, stand on this side, and everybody who's just overwhelmed and managing it, stand over this side. And we could go down the line and say, which group is having respite? And the group that's managing it would be all people who have managed to figure out the respite piece. And it does take figuring out. And you have to be willing to do it. And I'll be honest with you, the first time that you or your mom gets respite and you leave the house to go walk for an hour or something, it's going to feel like this isn't going to be enough. I need like a 5-week respite, but it starts with that 1 hour. Because if we gave you 5 weeks off, you'd be so worried about your sister, right? So it starts with that 1 hour. You get used to 1 hour, and then gradually for you and for her, you get used to 2 hours, and eventually it feels like a break. But it's like a muscle you got to massage, like pizza dough you got to pull. You got to be willing to do it, and you got to keep on it, or it snaps back. So
Other things
yeah.
too, Shannon. I mean, like once you are, as Shannon said, because I know how it feels when you're hopeless and you've given up and you don't want to deal with anything. But once you have a little respite, there's other things like your sister is eligible to get ABA therapy at wherever you are. And we would then work on trying to figure out, even if you're on Medicaid, and we would be able to find an agency and try to help you get ABA therapy, which then will completely change things as well. And, either someone would come to the apartment or we'd figure out how to get your sister to a center. There are things that are a little bit difficult to access. And that's kind of where we would be happy to help guide you a little bit so that you can step by step get help, because the ideal goal is to get to a point where your mom is maybe taking some antidepressants and not feeling awful about everything. Your sister is busy with either ABA, learning a vocational skill, learning how to entertain herself appropriately, and you, as a 20-year-old, can continue to thrive and live your life. So there's a little work to be done to get you all to that point, but it isn't impossible, and we're absolutely here to support you.
Absolutely. I want to add one more log to this fire, Dr. Granpeesheh, that when my son was young, I couldn't imagine the circumstance of a day when my son was not going to live with me.
Yeah.
Especially if he continued to have the challenges that he had when he was 3. It was like, well, no, that's just going to be the rest of our lives. And if that's what I need to do, I'm going to take care of him. And I hear that from so many families that it's sort of like this weird thing that the little radio button that says, and eventually your child will move off. When your child gets a diagnosis of autism, we just automatically shift that to off and think this is their lot in life and our lot in life. And I've learned over the years that just isn't true. And that I've heard from parents who have said, no, that like every other child in our family, we need to be looking for how do these individuals emancipate into their own lives. If that means not the horrific thing of our nightmares where they're placed in a facility where we never see them and it's horrible and they're, bad things happen to them. I now have seen the real thing, and it has to be researched and it has to be looked for. But I see real families that are thriving because their son or daughter lives a mile down the road. They go pick them up for dinner on Tuesday night to go and then go play bingo. Yeah. And then that adult child then at some point during dinners tells them, whether it's on an iPad or sign or with vocal language, I'm ready to go home now. Yeah. Just like you and I say, I had a good time and now I'm ready to go home. Yeah. So I want to put it into the mind of this 20-year-old that there are options for your sister to eventually live somewhere else and have her be happy and okay. Yes. That is an option. It takes work, but it is an option. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.